Dennis Shaw, and I'd like to share with you some of my memories of my grandfather Horace Baker. Horace was not a big man, but had a wiry stature. He grew up locally, went to school at Makaratu and Wakarara, and he was a very talented sportsman, wood chopper, horse rider, rugby player. I don't know whether Horace played cricket. More than likely he was too busy doing other things, but he was captain of the Onga rugby team back in the day, with people like John Buchanan, another local identity, father of Robert. Horace eventually met and eventually married my grandmother, Lillian Douglas, who she was at the time, and Lillian's mother, Sarah, was a Fletcher from Pendle Hill. In 1926, when Sarah's mother died, the farm, the 146 acres of Pendle Hill, was left to Sarah, and many a happy occasion was spent up here at Pendle Hill, and Horace was certainly to the fore in a lot of those occasions. In 1953, when Sarah died, the farm was left to Lillian, and so Lillian and Horace began farming Pendle Hill. In between farming the 140 acres of Pendle Hill, Horace also ran shearing gangs, and up to 2 gangs at a time, and really began a legacy that extended for 80 years of Baker shearing. My memories of Horace was he was a loving grandfather, and we spent many a time up here at Pendle Hill in the Christmas holidays with Nana and Pop Baker, as we call them. Cousins seemed to come from miles around. There were plenty of them. Their parents just seemed to leave them with Nana and Pop at the Christmas school holidays, and we would all spend a fortnight up here doing all sorts of things, from eeling, possum hunting, rabbiting, just so much to do up in these wide expanses of Pendle Hill. Sliding down a hill on a cabbage tree leaf behind me was another experience that we had, and fortunately there were no accidents, and that was sort of emulating what Joe Fletcher had done years before when he took a barrel up to the top of the hill behind us. No pine trees in those days, of course, all clear, and Joe proceeded to roll the full length of the hill right to the bottom, with his sisters fearing for his life. But when Joe reached the bottom, he managed to climb out, not unscathed, but very, very sore for a long time after that. So in 1953, as I said before, when Horace and Lillian took over Pendle Hill and began farming it, a lot of the hill country behind us was turned over. Horace using this trusty old International here that I'm leaning on, and where I'm standing presently with this tractor is where Horace parked it on his last day working any ground up here at Pendle Hill. And his good mate Tom Rowbottom and then his son Bill Rowbottom decided that they didn't want this tractor moved from here, because that was their last memory a lasting memory for them of Horace Baker. Now you might wonder why such a machine would be left out here just to suffer the elements of the weather and so forth, but that was how they wanted it at the time. Further down the track it may get moved on, but as you can see, many parts have been taken from the tractor over the years, so there's not a hell of a lot left now of the engine, but it certainly did a lot of work in breaking in Pendle Hill. Rest in peace, Horace. Pop.